River Basin, Sex Panther. Distilled in New Orleans. Who effing knows podcasts? Let's go.
Hey, yo.
What's happening?
Hey, yo. Welcome.
Yo.
Yeah. Welcome to the 42nd edition of the Who Effing Knows podcast.
The per edition.
Oh, boy. We went there. The official podcast of coffee free agents everywhere. You care to elaborate on the edition of this podcast? I
Nope.
kind of want to know more.
Sure don't.
Where does he rate in the NFL history? Are we going to beep that out? We're just going to let it go? All right, we're going to ride with it. Cool. We're going to ride with it.
No, we're definitely edited that out.
Tonight we have Brandon with us from NOLA Flight. Say hello.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing today?
Hell yeah. We had a quick little party with him, going away party for Brandon, but also the 3-year anniversary party last weekend, which we shared. So tonight we're going to do things a little different. You know, obviously normally if we have somebody on, I'll ask backstory. We'll talk about, hey, tell me about NOLA Flight, which we'll probably talk NOLA Flight. But we kind of did that Saturday, so we're going to have a little more fun tonight. Maybe we'll talk sports. Maybe we'll talk life. I'll be honest, I don't know what we're doing, but we're here. How's life, Dave?
You know, man.
Don't mumble.
It's a rough night so far. Coming from watching the game, not the basketball game.
You want to talk about it?
No, not necessarily. The hockey game. So here's the thing with me, right? So anybody who doesn't watch hockey, Vegas was up 3-0 coming into the night in the series. Just got to win one. And most fans in sports would be like, oh, 3-0, we're good, even if we lose one. But I don't know anything but heartbreak with my teams.
I tell you what.
So I've just been groomed to expect that we're going to lose. I'm praying. I just wanted it to be over tonight so I could just be like, all right, we're good, we move on.
So do you think that the reverse sweep is in effect?
I don't know. I'm not going to say yes. I'm going to say no. I think we can still, win one more, but it's just that thought's in the back of my head, right?
But wouldn't you rather win it at home?
That's what I'm falling back on right now. It's
That-
like,
that's-
okay, we just go back home and win it in Vegas.
That's always my excuse with playoffs and series. They just want to win it in front of their fans. So
it's also
that's how you justify it.
It's
tonight.
also kind of like when you're down 3-0, I almost expected to lose this one because they're gonna play with nothing to lose. So I'm sure Heat fans are feeling the same way. Probably worse.
I don't know what it's like. I'll be honest with you. As a Florida Panthers fan, a lifelong Florida Panthers fan, we took care of business when we needed to, and now we're just waiting. You guys make it, Dallas makes it. I don't really care. I just know that we're ready.
I don't even think the Florida Panthers have been in existence your whole life. So how's that work?
Are you going to call me out on this now?
I'm just saying.
You're not in on the bit, Brandon.
I am in on the bit. I'll be there virtually when the Panthers and the Knights play in the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I'm hoping it happens. It's been we've had some behind the scenes plans for some things possibly if it does happen. So I also told Patty that if the Panthers win the Stanley Cup, I'd buy him a shirt.
Fuck yeah.
So or a hat, whatever he wants.
Or a tattoo.
Make it under $100. I got you.
I'm pretty sure I could get an ice cube and a cat for under $100.
If you listen, if you're willing to get the ice cat tattoo, I will do it. The money that was about to go to my tattoo for my son, I will pay for your ice cat tattoo.
I've had worse tattoos. Okay, it's fine.
Have had or still have?
They exist. We're not gonna go there.
Have you been to an NHL game?
No, I have not.
Have you?
No, we talked about this earlier. But go ahead.
Yeah. So I went to my first. Obviously, I went to brass games growing up, right, and watched Mighty Ducks. So I'm a Ducks fan. I'm an Angels fan too. I guess that's just like Hollywood, brainwashing me. But
it could happen.
Yeah. I mean, we had the World Series in '02 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I went to my first NHL game, Dallas Stars game, back in December when I went to the Cotton Bowl. And the entertainment there, right? They know how to keep their fans engaged the whole 3 periods. You know what I'm saying? That was the dopest sporting event I've ever been to. So if you ever get a chance, definitely go to an NHL game. It's hype.
I definitely want to go to a Vegas game because that seems like a whole different atmosphere.
Oh, that would be an experience.
You said you're
walking down the strip.
You said you're an Angels fan. What's it like to have the two best players in baseball and be awful?
I mean, this year I think we're 28 and 23 right now. So
Behind the Rangers, I know that.
you know, just chipping away, trying to get
Behind the Rangers.
still behind the Rangers, and I got a lot of Mariners fans that are friends, but it's pretty demoralizing being an Angels fan. That's all I'm gonna say.
I had to do that. Anyway, what's up, Patty?
I'm living life, man. I'm doing well.
How was your day?
I'll tell you what, man. Let's just say it like this. I was not planning on drinking on this podcast tonight, and I had a fucking day. I had a day. You know, life sometimes comes at you sideways. I've done a lot of dumb things in my life that have led me to the point where I'm at right now. Shout out to last week when I called myself a gym bro. Today was leg day. I did legs. I was still stressed after. Yeah, but we're getting through it.
I mean, you had a decent first half of the day. This is the second time Patty and I are seeing each other today.
Yeah.
You spent the whole morning together.
Worst day of my life.
What are you squatting?
Oh, fuck. I don't squat. Come on, man. I'm 35.
I mean,
I got bad knees.
what are you hex bar deadlifting? I mean, you said it was leg day. What are you doing over there?
It's not enough. I'll tell you
I
that.
don't even know
much.
what he's doing over there.
It's not enough. It's leg day. I'm a cheapskate, man. I could tell you. Ask me other questions. What are you benching? What are you curling? I could tell you that.
He's like leg day at the gym, just walking around texting.
Basically,
I'm
yeah.
on my legs.
I got my steps in.
He texted me. So he texted me beforehand because he knows we recording later, and he's like, "I'm going real quick, doing 3 things, going home."
I was like, bro, I don't want to do this.
Usually
I'm so
it's, when
fucking
it's,
fed
when it's
up.
late at night and we're recording. I can't speak for how his other late night gym sessions go, but it's always I really just need to step foot in the gym.
Yeah, I just need to show face.
Which I get though, because there is something to that. Like if you're trying to stay in like a pattern, right?
Right.
Like they tell you if you just there was a story I read about a guy who was just trying to get into a routine, and his first like 3 weeks he just went into the gym, did 5 minutes and left.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just the the act of
Just, like,
actually
going
showing
there.
up. Yeah.
Right.
So there is something to that, having to go, which is probably why I cannot stick to anything.
I'll tell you what, man. I've done pretty well. Now, I'll admit, leg day is never my best day, and you can tell. Like I got calves, but I got nothing else. Ain't nothing happening. I got no butt. I got no thighs.
Ain't nothing happening down
Ain't
here.
nothing happening.
See, my problem is like squatting. I can't do a like back squat, like
Yeah.
holding the bar on the back. I tore both of my rotator cuffs,
Mm,
so that forces me to do a front squat,
that's hard.
and you can't do like. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that could do more front squats than back squats, but like I'm leaning over right
That's
when
tough.
I'm trying to do like my max,
Mm.
but I feel like I'm really losing out, on getting like you said, you ain't got no butt, you ain't got no thighs.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm losing out.
You know what's funny and interesting about that? Not to get too deep into the fitness world here, but building a butt doesn't necessarily have to do with squatting. Like the little hip thrust thing you see all the girls doing. You
The
gonna look
stair
like a
stepper.
fool. Yeah, the stair stepper, the hip thrust. I'm telling you, the hip thrust is the one. The hip and the lunges. You want to build a booty? I ain't doing either one of them, but
You won't do lunges?
I'll do lunges. Yeah, I'll do lunges.
Yeah.
I'm lazy though. I ain't trying to fucking do all that.
Is leg day the worst gym day?
No, it's not. It's the best gym goers will tell you it's the best gym day, which is clearly why I'm not in prime shape because it's not happening.
Yeah.
For me, it's chest day, but that's because I only have one chest muscle, so it's like,
Oh, that's tough.
yeah, it kind of hurts to do chest day. But we push through, right? You don't know. I was born with one chest muscle. I
Like
don't-
one pec.
One pec.
I didn't know that either. This is news to me.
I've
I'll
told
be
you
honest with
before.
you.
I've said it on the pod.
Was I drunk?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I only have a right one. I don't have a left one. So it's like I can't do. It hurts because you're working out muscles.
To
that
like
you
do
don't-
a whole bench.
Yeah, because you're using muscles you don't usually use, right? Like they're overcompensating. So yeah, it hurts, but we push through, So yeah, chest day for me is the day I don't like. But my legs are like my strongest thing, so I like doing leg day.
There you
Sucks for a few days afterwards, but
go. Yeah, well.
Well, how let me ask you this: being born with like one pectoral muscle, how did that affect you? Like playing sports growing
so
up?
I didn't realize it until I played high school football my freshman year, and like really started working out because I would work out and I'd be like, "Fuck, this hurts all the time," and then you start getting you get some definition, and I'm like, well, why is this side not doing anything? So I just I looked it up one day to see if it was possible, found out, and then turns out it's true. But to answer your question, not really. Like, it doesn't affect me at all to do. I don't know. I guess if I played something that required like a lot of like a pushing motion, maybe.
Like if you were O line.
Yeah. I mean, I played receiver, which was like blocking, but it's not like.
Oh, you getting pressed off the line.
Right.
Now that I know this, you ain't getting out of nowhere.
I'm about to watch the game film. Oh, he got one pectoral muscle.
This man ain't getting nowhere.
Yeah. No, it didn't really. It didn't really affect me at all.
I'm giving him shit for a fucking birth defect right now. And
I know. I feel like shit now.
now.
Damn.
I'm like, fuck.
I don't give a fuck. No, it didn't really affect me to do anything. Maybe when I was younger, and I just didn't realize it. I don't know, but no. Ever since I've known, outside of like actually lifting weights, it doesn't bother me. I think it looks goofy, but that's about it.
Well, to be fair, I never noticed. So, to each your own.
Why would you?
Because that's fair. Not paying attention when your shirt's off.
Hey, well, since we're talking about birth defects, I mean, I might as well expose myself. I was born with 2 crooked ass pinkies, like dead ass. Like, hold this real quick, Dave.
Oh, what are we doing? Oh man!
Wait a minute,
this man. Hold on.
Wait, the camera just looks like you're flipping me off.
Up here.
Shit, up here.
My man's got Torrey Holt fingers. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
So like, I couldn't learn. My parents tried to put me in piano when I was growing. My pinky wouldn't reach the keys. Like it was
can't play guitar, can't play piano,
can't do shit
You're
with
not a
crooked
musician.
pinkies.
It's not happening.
And
it's tough.
I bet you. Look, if you look it up and you look up the scientific definition of what this deformity is, it's actually like a sign of dwarfism.
Well, you're not a dwarf, so.
Well, I always tell people if I had straight pinkies, I'd be 6'4". So.
Fair.
Does it? You know what? Now I have a question because NOLA Flight, obviously. Does this affect gaming at all? Like, do you use pinky? I guess you. Really...
No, because I play on controller. I would imagine that playing like mouse and keyboard, that it may reaching a.
I've tried mouse and keyboard before, and I don't think so.
I've never played mouse and keyboard.
Maybe you know what? Maybe the keyboard side. Yeah.
Honestly, even when I was on the keyboard, I don't think I ever used my pinky. Like it was all these fingers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think on controller it would do anything.
Nah, it doesn't do anything on controller. I mean, I'm just ass at video games anyway. So straight pinky, crooked pinky. I'm just, I don't think it would matter.
What's your best game?
NCAA football.
Oh, word.
I still got like a dynasty going from I have a Xbox 360. I have a dynasty going. I'm in year 2024.
Yeah.
I created myself on Tulane. Shout out Green Wave.
I'm like a 4-time Heisman on Tulane back in the day. You know what I mean?
Bro, I used to do so every year. No lie, NCAA was also my game. Every year, every edition that came out, which I'm excited. The new edition's coming out. You just released a cover for it. Matt Pratt, Mike Pratt. Yeah, Matt Pratt. As if I'm not a Tulane fan.
Y'all made the Michael Pratt NCAA.
Yeah, you made the Michael Pratt
25 cover.
Yep.
Oh, bro,
that's it.
That's about to be my phone screensaver.
Go get it. It's everywhere. You can find it on our Facebook, fucking Twitter. Probably not our Instagram. We should put it there.
I can send it to you too.
Shout out dogs that are running around right now.
Always.
But no, I used to always choose Tulane and take them to the national championship. And I used to cheat. I'm not gonna lie. I used to create punters that were athletes and then go recruit them, and they'd be my quarterbacks, and then I'll just run all over the other team. It's fine. Yeah. Hey, well, that's the ice. Calm down.
I say NCAA football is my game, because that's probably the most mainstream out of the games that I would say that that I thrived at. But the real game that I enjoyed the most ever was MVP baseball, NCAA 07. Or was it 06? Either way, they only made it for 2 years, but the sound of the ping, the aluminum bat hitting the baseball on that video game, and nostalgia. There was a glitch on there. You could create yourself, you could play for 4 years, and then when you became a senior, you could go back and edit yourself and make yourself a freshman again. So I've been playing with myself for 22 years in game.
My man's 60 years old. Playing
60 years old.
I like to
All-American.
I like to do Madden franchises and then take sign all the best players and then go edit their contracts and make them play for the vet minimum. I think we just stumbled into a topic here. Give me a game they need to bring back.
Well, it's NCAA for sure.
Well,
like
it's coming back. So
it
give
is.
give me another one.
You just put me on the spot here, man. I don't know what.
I would say. I mean, you could look up the YouTube documentaries on this game, but the NFL 2K5.
Oh, for sure.
And just like the customization of the game, and just like
It was so ahead
how
of its time.
deep you could go into the game. Like that was probably the best sports video game that was ever made.
2K football just needs to come back so that Madden has competition.
Correct, because the Madden series, like, you know, having delved into that scene, and, you know, competitors and stuff, and just hearing their gripes, and even looking at the reviews, like if you go on the Xbox store, the PlayStation store, it's got like 1.5 stars, right? Because it feels like it's always on the same engine. It always feels like there's really nothing new added to the game. I mean, if you go back and you did like an evolution of like from 2012 to 2022, you would see how different it is graphics wise, and how much smoother it is. But I just don't feel like they add enough every year to make, like, I don't buy it every year.
No, I stopped buying it. I used to.
Yeah, I used to up until last year. Was the first year I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
And I was like, every year for like the last 5 years, I'm like, I'm not buying this shit no more.
You know what? I tell you what, though, is we're sitting here kind of singing the praises of 2K and down in Madden a little bit. If you look at the 2K basketball, now granted, live doesn't even exist anymore, but like if you look at 2K basketball, it's kind of the same game every year too. Like they're because there's no competition, these games are just putting out, or these developers are just putting out.
I mean, there was a
garbage.
time when live was better. Was the game, right? Was it the Carmelo cover? I think it was like the last good NBA live. I would say NFL Street.
Yeah.
I want Street back, or like, dude, give me Blitz or Slugfest.
Oh, the Blitz.
Slugfest would be fucking awesome.
Ken Griffey baseball.
Yeah, dude, I don't even care. Like, give me more. Like, I need more like
Triple
like,
play
what's that,
99.
I guess that's arcade style games.
Yeah,
right?
that's
like,
give
me that. Like, we got it. Sure, we got Madden. I could use another one, but like a 2K game to compete with Madden. But I like the arcade style games. They were so much fun. I used to play a FIFA Street. I don't even give a shit about soccer.
You know what though? And not to get off topic here, FIFA's a game that I wish I played more of. It's a game I've always loved.
So addicting.
Yeah, I bought the last one when it went on sale. I played the shit out of it.
I'm just gonna say, like, I'm a loyalist, and I kind of like touched on this at the crawfish boil, but like when it comes to FIFA, I bought FIFA 2016. I was whooping all my friends' asses on it, right? Nobody wanted to play me anymore. I didn't buy a FIFA after that because I got so like hooked on the way that game played that I just didn't want to learn 17, 18, 19. Like I'd continue to play FIFA 16 to this day. And with Madden, the last Madden I bought was the one with Antonio Brown on the cover because it was like $7 at Best Buy whenever he was going through his case.
Oh,
like,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact about that game. It was the first game with the Frostbite engine. And it had the Frostbite logo on the cover, and then he ended up getting Frostbite in the offseason.
Oh, on his feet.
On his feet.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Fuck, I forgot what I was about to say. Yeah, I don't. I forget that there's people that like stick with old games like that. Like, I didn't really realize that until I like dove into Call of Duty and like really started playing Call of Duty. And I'd be playing like this one, and people are still playing like
Vanguard.
2019. 2019 Modern Warfare. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I just assume everybody goes to the new one every year.
That's the only game that I've like. I didn't even buy Vanguard. I think So I bought Modern Warfare 19. I didn't buy Cold War, and I didn't buy Vanguard, but I bought the new one. But that's like the only game franchise that I would even consider buying like each year. Like when it comes to sports games, I haven't bought 2K since 2K13. I'm still playing with Jason Terry on the Celtics.
Oh boy.
Well, not to get like too deep into it, but it's a little bit different for Call of Duty, right? Because it's different. It's different creators every time,
Right.
or
different engines,
yeah,
different developers.
So you may like the Modern Warfare version, but you don't like Vanguard because it's not the same thing.
I've always thought that was so weird. Even like because I got into Call of Duty when Modern Warfare originally came out a long time ago, and the fact that they would switch developers every year or whatever, it always blew my mind.
Well, I think the last couple of years they've kind of started to collab a little bit more on them, if I remember right.
Yeah, like
Or at least on Warzone, they've all been trying to collab on Warzone and.
yeah. So the Warzone, going from Modern Warfare 19 to Cold War to Vanguard, and because that was a very successful franchise. So they're gonna want to keep it up, right?
Right.
So the developers have been collaborating on that. That's for sure.
What about backyard baseball?
Oh, dude, don't even Pablo Sanchez. Don't even get me started.
Can you name another character from
Go
that
ahead.
game? Because I can't.
I mean, what year though?
I don't fucking know.
I mean, I used to draft Mike Piazza.
Can I be real with y'all? So like, I never got into backyard baseball. Never downloaded it. Never bought it. Never like, and I feel like I missed out on a whole thing, on a whole genre. Like, I hear about it all the time. When I worked in minor league baseball, like one team won a golden bobblehead, which is like a big thing, for having a backyard baseball night, and like, I didn't get it, and I felt stupid.
That's how I feel about movies. Like all my friends know. I don't watch movies like that. So there's all kinds of classic movies that I've just never seen. Like, what's the one that like White Men Can't Jump? Never seen it.
Oh, you got to be kidding me!
got the
Godfather.
new one.
Never seen it.
Have you seen the new one?
No, but you see, it's starting to be a little bit of a blessing, right? Because now I can watch the new one without being so
Biased.
Emotionally invested into the original one.
Let me say, I actually just watched the new one the other day. Have you seen the new one?
I have.
Okay, I saw it the other day, and I don't hate it, but what I do hate is that it's called White Men Can't Jump, because it's nothing like the original. It's not there is no comparison. There is no similarity other than like a white dude and a black dude take on the world. Like, that's it.
I feel like Woody Harrelson was a little bit more natural, like unexpected to play basketball, and then I feel like the new one was. I felt like it was a good movie, but I felt like it was a little bit more forced.
Yeah, it was just different altogether. Like, the storyline was totally different.
Well,
like,
I mean, it's
like, there was no, so in the original, like, the whole White Men Can't Jump thing was like a metaphor, right? But at the same time, he always made fun of him because, like, oh, you ain't never gonna dunk, you a white man. And then, like, in the new one, they never say that, they never get at that. And then when they're randomly playing, not the spoiler, I'll give you a second. All right, cool. And then when they're playing in that tournament, he just dunks, and I'm like, oh, white man can dunk, I guess. I don't know where this came from. I don't know. That was the one thing that stuck out to me, and I was like, cool.
I guess it's like you know, with the times, right? Like you see remakes, and it's like there's a TikTok joke in every remake, right? There wasn't even cell phones. I mean, there were cell phones, but like nobody had a cell phone. I bet you if you go back and watch the original White Men Can't Jump, and you count how many cell phones you saw in there, there's probably not going to be very many.
No, it was like the 80s style.
But,
if they
right,
had one.
but like the perception of,
You know, a white boy playing basketball then versus now. I mean, it's totally, like, culturally, it's totally different.
That's very true.
So
You're not
the
wrong.
storyline's going to be different. And, like, I don't think Jack Harlow did a bad job, right? But, and I don't know the guy, so I can't say whether or not I felt like his acting was forced. You know what I'm saying?
Jack Harlow, you mean?
Did I say Jack Harlow?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if his acting was forced or not.
Yeah, I don't either. I was wondering that the whole time. Like, I was like, I don't really know enough about him. Like, I've heard his music, which he stole Drake's style, by the way. I'll leave that alone. But no, like, I don't know anything about like how he is as a person to know if he was like weird in that movie or whatever. But it was kind of funny. It was silly, like, especially like the race relations, the way they like played some of that stuff. I enjoyed it. It was cool.
I thought it was a good movie.
As a white man who has played basketball,
Right,
I enjoyed it.
right.
Like I said, I've never seen it. I haven't seen either one of them. But just like remakes in general, like, you know, I don't even know why they take on the task of making remakes anymore of classic movies, because they're gonna get shit on no matter what. Like, White Men Can't. I think Top Gun is the first one I've heard people actually say like this might be better than the original. But when it was announced they were redoing Top Gun, everybody was why.
Oh yeah, upset.
It's like
Yeah.
people. It's just something wrong with people, man. Like,
But I mean, you don't like think of a movie that's from like the early 2000s, 90s, 80s, and be like, man, what could they do now differently, or with the CGI effects, like how that movie could be 1,000 times better. Like, you don't, like, I'm not saying they're going to execute, but you've never thought of a movie that's like, damn, I wish they would remake this.
see, I used to like the Indiana Jones movies, so I'm all for, like, this new one that's coming out. I'm excited for it because I'm like, oh, we're getting Indiana Jones with like real effects. Like, that's awesome. I'd rather them remake a classic movie with newer effects than like just come up with some stupid idea for something new. Because at some point we're running out of ideas for movies, right?
Right.
Same with music. Like we kind of had this conversation before where. Like if an artist just wants to give me like an album of just remade songs just in a different style, like I'm cool with it. I'd rather you do that than just try to come up with something new that's just garbage.
I mean, that was like Lil Wayne, the Drought series. That's all that was a bunch of songs that had already been made. Just
Oh, the mixtapes?
Yeah.
Which were fire.
I'm not saying that they weren't fired, but if I could have one movie remade, all right, chat, like this is probably gonna sound stupid as shit, but it would be Free Willy.
Free Willy.
Yeah, Free Willy.
Elaborate.
I need more.
So
in my head, I'm trying to think of different things, and you could have gave me 1,000 games.
Yeah.
So
No way.
like in the opening, like
Free
with
Willy.
Michael Jackson, when he hits you with the "Hold me like the River Jordan, and I will then say to thee," like when Michael Jackson hits you with that soundtrack, all right, they bring that back. That's already game over. And he already got sued by the Cleveland Orchestra for that whole mixtape that he did or album. But look, the orca is my spirit animal. All right, so I want to see. I just want to see a killer whale jump over a troubled teen, and give him hope again.
Jesus.
But I want to see it in like 4K. I don't want to see it in 720.
You want
from
the hand in the air,
1994.
touching the water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That might be the hardest I've ever laughed on this podcast.
And we had Devin on. Devin
Yeah.
was
Oh
there.
my god. I don't even know what I would want. Dude, my brain is just scrambled now. You threw me through such a loop just now.
Y'all wasn't expecting that.
No.
I wouldn't mind a remade Jaws. We're talking fish.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I feel like
These
they've
lights
done
are
that.
about to get fucking destroyed.
We're about to
They,
lose
they
these
can't do
lights.
it. They can't do a remake of Jaws when they already did 47 meters down and Megalodon.
Yeah,
you know,
this is
like
true.
the shark movies. I feel like
The
are-
shark head. The
but
shark head.
the orca movies have they're not played out.
No, they're not.
Alright?
Under
I
the
love
sea.
all of this. What? So best new shark movie. Go.
Best new shark.
I'll answer. Deep Blue Sea. Hello, Cool J. Come on. And then the song. Deepest bluest. My head is like a shark. Is that
That's
from that
new?
movie? It's not new. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
You
35.
said that's new.
What was
It's
the one?
not
With,
new.
what was the one with the chick that was like stranded on a rock for the whole entire movie?
The Reef or something like
I
that.
don't know. I can't remember. I think it was a true story.
This is gonna be the most random podcast we've ever put out, and I'm here for it.
I don't know. Dude, I don't even know. How do you feel about these Sharknado movies?
I've never seen them.
Me neither. How about you?
I tried to watch one, and I'm all for like sci-fi. I like to believe myself as a movie connoisseur.
Not me.
I've probably watched everything that's on Netflix, everything that's on Amazon, with good reviews.
There you go.
But Sharknado, it's just too ridiculous, bro. It's like how you make a movie in the 20 teens and it just looks fake. It looks like a low budget film to me.
I feel that.
Free Willy did not look like a low budget movie to me.
I didn't have anybody on earth willing to die on the Free Willy Hill.
I loved it. I've listened. I liked Free Willy. I was a Free Willy fan. I don't hate it.
I probably haven't seen Free Willy in. I can't even tell you.
Bro, I could go down the Free Willy like rabbit hole, bro.
Please don't.
I bought the limited edition VHS. I had the little necklace like that Randolph gave Jesse. The wooden orca, like the Native American one, bro.
No, I don't. I don't know.
like while kids were wearing puka shells in like 2002 from
Wasn't
Abercrombie.
the lead character wearing puka shells in Free Willy?
No, he was wearing the wooden like Native American carved orca.
Sorry.
That's what I had, bro. And I did not make any friends because of it when I was in school.
On remakes, they're remaking all these movies.
What was yours? Did you pick?
Dude, I don't know. I don't have a favorite
He
shark
said Jaws. He
movie.
said
Yeah,
Jaws.
No, we don't have to do-
remakes.
we don't-
remakes.
I just want remakes. Go back to the remakes. Fuck my question.
Of
No, I don't want
shark
the shark movie. I don't want any of that. What movie would you remake?
movie? Hmm.
I don't know. I don't want to hear that. What's your what movie would you remake?
Hmm. I don't know. I don't have a favorite shark movie.
What movie would you remake?
Hmm.
I've got one. That's why I'm asking. I thought of one. This fucking dog is eating our eyes. Y'all can't see
No,
it.
he's not
What
even-
about like sports movie?
That's what I'm.
Wait,
That's where I'm
going
trying to go.
So that's
Give
what
me
I'm
one.
going. Major League. That was gonna be
Okay.
mine. Major League.
That'd
One
be
of my
dope.
favorite.
Angels in the outfield.
Shout out.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Feel,
There you go.
what's your favorite sports movie?
My favorite
Have we had
sports
this- I think
movie.
we had this
We
conversation.
probably have.
We did. I think we did a top 5.
Man, there's so many. We did do a top 5, and it's probably if I said a movie right now, it'd probably be different than the number one of my top 5.
Well,
It's that random.
I will tell
Give us yours,
y'all.
'cause
If you,
you weren't
well, sports movie like this is gonna be probably off the radar, but have you got? I think it's called Unbroken. It's about Brandon. What's his last name?
We did.
No. He was an offensive lineman for Arkansas.
Oh, shit, I don't know.
It's a story. It's like it's a true story, right? Based on a true story. And he wound up walking on to Arkansas, then becoming a scholarship player. Then he got drafted by the Indianapolis Colts, and then he died. He got into a car accident like a week after he got drafted. And I think it's called Unbroken, but that's definitely a movie that y'all need to check out.
That's tough.
And it definitely hits all the feels, the laughs, the emotion. It's an emotional roller coaster for sure. But mainstream, I would say my favorite sports movie, probably Remember the Titans.
Mine's either 42 or Hardball.
So the baseball.
I fucking hate you sometimes.
Why? I love 42. 42 is a good ass movie.
It is a good movie. It is.
And who doesn't love Hardball?
Hardball is a phenomenal movie.
Yeah,
Hardball was one of the first
what are
movies
you
to make
talking
me.
about right now?
Hardball was one of the first movies to make me cry, and I won't even lie about that, man. When G Baby,
You just told me you hate me.
Call me Big Papa.
Yeah.
I'm just messing with you. God, you're so sensitive.
I'm in an upset mood right now, man.
Oh, you're
Wait, this is the 42nd episode, right?
yeah. Hey.
Oh, fuck.
And
yeah.
see, that's what I wanted to say. Whenever it was the 40, I was like, I don't think that's his number.
It was. Yeah, it's definitely. Yeah, no, we went with instead.
Now I gotta beat it twice.
He who shall not be named.
Well, he's been named twice.
So would you trade for
3 times.
his whole career for Tracy Porter's one
People are like,
interception,
who the fuck are they talking
one
about?
pick six?
They're gonna know.
What was the question?
For his whole career, everything he did for the Saints, or Tracy Porter's one pick six in the
That's
Super
a
Bowl?
tough question because
You don't get the Tracy.
you don't
Porter's
get the
pick.
Tracy Porter pick 6 without he who shall not be named.
Are you asking me if I want or as a Saint for his entire career, or Tracy Porter's pick 6? Fuck, I don't know. That is tough because you need him to be a Saint.
Yeah,
Like-
if he's not on that team, then we don't make the Super Bowl. It doesn't happen.
No, but we also don't do it without Tracy Porter.
That's also true. It's a good question.
I don't. You know what? You got to because you still can probably win that. You're still in position to win that game. Like they're driving
Mm-hmm.
when he makes the pick 6, but I think it would only tied it up. You can win the Super Bowl without his pick 6. Now, if you're asking
I
me,
don't know.
the harder question is, do you want him or Tracy Porter's pick against the Vikings? Because you don't get to the Super Bowl without that. You can win the Super Bowl without Tracy Porter's pick 6. For sure. I mean, yeah. Without his pick 6.
I'm
For
gonna
sure.
refuse to answer this question. I'm
Hey, that's fair.
Let it
Yeah, I'm also having. I don't want him to beep out this name this many times. So
sit. Let it sit.
we'll just start saying DS42.
yeah, because that's
It's like he's a robot from Star Wars.
Isn't he in jail right now? He's got to be in jail.
yeah, he's got to be. I don't
He's
know,
away for
man.
life. I stopped following that. It's like this dude doesn't even.
I was like, this
exist
dude is a
anymore.
piece of shit.
Hell.
How many times?
Let's just clear this up. We do not condone the actions
No.
of he who shall not be named.
We do not condone those actions.
I definitely no. Do I need to say it? I'm sorry.
Yeah, say it. Say it.
No, I do not.
How many times after we won the Super Bowl? After we won the Super Bowl, how many times did you watch the replay?
My grandma bought. You know, all right. I think I've told you this
We have a good transition. Continue.
with my story.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know how every year after they do it, they'll put the NFL sells. It's like 2 games and the Super Bowl on a DVD.
Right.
My grandma bought it, and I shit you not, at every family gathering, she replayed the whole DVD. So not only did we rewatch the Super Bowl like once a month, we rewatched I think it was the Cardinals, the Vikings game, and it was just and then
So you watched Kurt Warner getting his ass busted.
I think it was
Brett Favre getting his ass busted.
Yeah, it was 4 games. I think they did. I want to say it's the Miami game. It's either the Miami game or the Redskins game or Commanders game, whatever the fuck.
Was that the Meacham? Whenever he did the
I'm Native American. I can say whatever I want.
Whenever Meacham.
Oh,
Yeah,
strip,
when he
strip,
first
Strip six.
It's one. I want to say it's one of those 2 games, and then the 3 playoff games is what they do. So we watched all 4 of those games every family gathering. You could probably ask my grandma what happened at the 29th minute mark of that game of the Super Bowl, and she could tell you.
Bro, I was dating a girl on the West Bank, right? And
Shout
shout out the West Bank, but every time I went to her house, like literally for like 3 months, right? I think this was in 2010, so like the year after. Every time I went to her house, her dad was wearing like a Drew Brees jersey and was watching it like on replay.
Oh yeah.
Like every single time I went over there.
I feel like the West Bank had to be the craziest place after the Super Bowl.
Oh, there was fireworks.
Like Chalmette, right? Like how was shit? You weren't there.
I wasn't
You were
talking
gone.
about Red
Oh, there was fireworks on the
There was
West Bank.
gunshots, people
Oh,
fucking
I-
sacrificing goats.
I can't
Like
I can't vouch for the gunshots or the goats. We did go down to Bourbon, and that was the first time I ever heard like live gunshots. Like the night the Saints won the Super Bowl, we were down on Bourbon and we heard blah blah blah, and everybody just started scattering. And I was like, we went back to our car and just got out of there. You know what I'm saying? But back to old girl's
they
dad.
were happy gunshots though.
Probably,
Yeah, that's like the
maybe.
last time New Orleans was peaceful, ironically.
Yeah, there was no crime. Anyways,
Yeah,
I want
go
to
ahead.
hear about the girl.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's talk about this.
Dude, every time I went over there, like, I'm just trying to hang out with old girl. And
It said you
And-
want to watch Super Bowl.
I swear it was like a trophy shrine room in the living room. Like, I don't even think Netflix was a thing. No, Netflix wasn't a thing back then. So they probably
Not in this form.
No, they had cable and TiVo.
It was still mailing
Like,
Netflix.
You were getting DVDs in.
They had like DVR. You know what I'm saying?
Jeez, I forgot about DVR.
So it was just like the dude was like living his like high school glory or something. Like he had peaked in life at that moment when the Saints won the Super Bowl. So that was all we watched. Like they served dinner, Saints Super Bowl was on. I went over there to like bring her to work, Saints Super Bowl was on. So I watched that shit for like months.
This feels kind of unhealthy. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I feel like it just sets you up for like.
But we got to think about it. The Super Bowl for people that age was meant a little bit more than it did to us,
It
right?
meant a lot.
Yeah, if he was in like his mid 40s or
Right.
something
like
like
my
that.
my grandma, I don't remember how old she was at the
They
time.
waited
like
a long
she was,
time for that.
yeah, she was there when we got the Saints, right? So they went through that.
I mean, I
So
still,
I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you do what you got to do, because like it was emotional for me, and I'm younger than you. I've only experienced really the good years.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and I say that like I remember like Jeff Blake and that like that's the earliest I remember.
Those are the bad years for you.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Those were decent years.
That's
you
what
don't
I'm
even
saying.
want to hear the bad years from me.
Right, so I'm like I can't.
I was there for the Jim Everett and fucking. Well, we're not even
I
talking
saw Tim
Katie
Couch
Werfel.
throw a Hail
Yeah.
Mary.
Oh, that was my first game.
That was
where I
my
like,
first game that I went to.
Yo, this
Ricky
is the-
Williams like popped off for like 200 yards rushing, no
Listen.
touchdowns. I don't think.
I-
Tim Couch threw a Hail Mary on the last play of the game.
When I was a kid, growing up, I played Pee Wee football, and my team was the Chiefs. But the team I played on was the Chiefs. So I was naturally a Chiefs fan because it was just, hey, Chiefs, Joe Montana, fucking Joe Montana. He's the best ever.
Right.
I moved into the house in New Orleans, or Old Jefferson, after I had left Slidell. And my uncle, who had lived there before me, had passed away. He left his radio, he left a couple other things. And the radio had an old bumper sticker on it that said Saints fan and Bud Man. I was like, well, that's cool. And that's cool. And
Michael Lewis.
no,
Like
this
for
is
the
way
Bud
before,
Man?
it was before that.
Oh,
This was
okay.
before that. And I started watching, like, Ricky Jackson was on the team, but I didn't really watch very well, or very much. I was still, like, a Chiefs fan. Like, Sonny Bono was their quarterback. I was like, oh, yeah, fucking Sonny Bono. Shout out. But the first game that I decided, and I was a kid, I was young, first game I decided was a Saints fan was the Saints-Browns game. When we were or the Browns were like 0-15 or 0-16 or whatever it was at the time, 0-15. And they won on that Hail Mary.
We were both the worst two teams.
Yeah.
And that was the day I became a Browns fan.
They were worse. You were a Browns fan?
That day, I literally became a Browns fan because I was sick of the same shit.
Fun fact, can you name the cornerback that did not knock the ball down on that play? Because I can.
Sammy Knight?
Alex Molden. Shout out Alex Molden. He ended up playing with Drew Brees in San Diego. Maybe. I don't know if
You said we had a transition earlier.
Oh, I did. So
I don't want you to forget your topic.
No, y'all were talking about it was your topic.
Okay, go
It's a
ahead.
transition into your topic. We're talking about like our favorite sports moment.
Oh, I was about to do the same thing. Look at us.
Look at us.
Hey, before we transition, can we like rock, paper, scissors for that beer?
You can have it. This is my third one already.
All right.
We'll
Keep
keep it
to
even.
step away for a second while y'all keep talking. and get more.
Go ahead.
We
If
just-
you got more, you can go get some
We
more.
can keep the party going after. It's fine.
All right, let's transition. What we got?
Your topic. What the fuck you mean? What do we got?
Well, I was gonna let you read it.
I don't have it written on my phone.
Oh. Well, it was gonna be a top 5. It doesn't have to be top 5.
It could be whatever you want it to be, bro.
Give me your best, favorite, whatever. I don't even remember how I worded it to you.
Well, we're gonna do top 5 best sports moments. Is what the
Yeah, that was going to be the topic. Top 5 like best sports moments in your life to you. So like the moments that made you feel the best in sports. And you don't have to give me your top 5. Just give me like your
give me a few.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
So,
You don't have to rank them. Is what I mean.
so this is going to be a very like personalized list, right?
Yeah, that's what we want.
You know, because I would go to say that, you know, being a Tulane fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say my number one. You want me to start from 5 and work my way down?
You can do it if you.
I guess that would be the best, right?
This is your word.
Like
I feel like you're going to put pressure on me to have to go 5-1 though, and I'm not going to be able to do that. But you do it if you can.
all right, so I'm gonna start from 5 and work my way down to 1.
Go ahead.
Okay. So my number 5, it's not so much like the fact of who won the game or not. It's just the experience of what I had, and that was my first SEC football game.
Mhm.
So it was LSU Alabama. I want to say it was in 2014. Alabama wound up winning 9-6. It wasn't like I'm not. It went into overtime.
Yeah, I remember that game.
Very underwhelming with the score, right? But hard-nosed defensive SEC football. But just the atmosphere of being like at Tiger Stadium, right?
Yeah.
So that was like probably my all-time like collegiate football like experience of being in a stadium. But not so much like it mattered to me as who won or not, because I'm not an LSU fan. Number 4 would probably have to be when Tulane beat LSU in the Super Regionals, and
Shout out Denver Stadium.
I want to say this was in 05,
Maybe. I feel like it was before that.
maybe 03. It was either 01 or 05. I would have to look it up. I know that they played Rice in the Super Regionals once, and they played LSU in the Super Regionals once.
Yeah.
I'd have to look back. But just advancing to the College World Series. 3 would have to be Tulane with the 12-0 football season. I went to every home game that year and a couple away games. But being in the Superdome when they beat Louisiana Tech in the last game of the season, to advance to the Liberty Bowl, that would probably be my number 3. Number 2 would be when we beat the Vikings in the NFC Championship.
That was big.
I'll never forget that day. Just like when we won the Super Bowl, there was a lot of fireworks. And look, I knew we were going to win the Super Bowl, so that ain't even on my list. All right.
I get that.
Like getting to the Super Bowl
I
was
get that.
actually more hype to me than actually winning the Super
I
Bowl.
feel the same.
It almost didn't matter, right?
No, like to me it didn't matter. Like just getting to the Super Bowl and beating like when we whooped Brett Favre's ass.
You don't have to tell me about being happy to whoop Brett Favre's ass.
That was my number 2. And look, number 1, most recent, just being there was being at the Cotton Bowl and literally being down by 15 points with less than 5 minutes left in the game, no chance in hell to win, and to come back. I mean, to see the USC fans, and West Coast football will never be as good as the South in football, right? But to see the USC fans' faces, and to see them go from a level up here to go down here in a matter of 5 minutes in a game, and just be able to talk so much shit to them, right? Because they were talking shit from the jump. One dude told me to suck on his or choke on his Trojan at a tailgate. All right, so I was already hyped up when we were in Dallas.
You should have said, "Sir, you have Trojans."
No, I told him it was probably a slender fit.
Oh, okay.
I said, you probably got a slender fit. But anyways, winning the Cotton Bowl is probably, and being at AT&T Stadium.
Sorry, not you.
No. But being at AT&T Stadium in Dallas when Tulane won the Cotton Bowl, that's probably my number 1 top sports moment that I've been involved with.
Just give me your favorite, your best. You're like 3 best.
I'll run
You got 5?
I'll run through the top 5. I
Man,
got 5. I'm going Kobe Bryant's last game. For sure. Like, it was phenomenal. I just remember sitting in my living room. You know, people were like, "Oh, you want to watch the Warriors break the record?" And I was like, "No, I want to watch Kobe."
Yeah, if you were watching the Warriors, if you chose the Warriors over Kobe that day, that's something. Who cares about
Right.
the Warriors?
Right. Shit. What else do I have? Oh, number 4. I'm going New England. 28-3 comeback. Like, I don't know why. I was wasted that night, and I'll never forget. I was at a buddy's house, and I was like, "Well, this game's over. I don't really care about it." We're sitting there drinking. I'm getting hammered, and all of a sudden, I'm like, "Wait," and then like, for some reason, like when they won that game, I celebrated like I had been a lifelong Patriots fan. Like, it was the best. It
really was.
I was like, "Holy shit! This was like the best comeback I've ever seen." It doesn't matter. After that, let's see what else do I have. That shit written down.
I hate that I gave you this topic and then didn't write 5 down.
Well, no. I think number 3. I think I'm gonna go with the Super Regional win as well. Tulane over LSU, and it's because. So you go a little further back than me, but that was the moment in my life when I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be a Tulane fan."
Well, while you're talking about it, I'm gonna look it up and make sure that it was 01 or 05.
Either way, whichever year it was when they played LSU. They played them at Zephyr Stadium. I went to all of the games. I lost my dad's best glove or favorite glove in the restroom, and he hated me for it. He didn't hate me, he loves me, but it's fine. But I remember, like, I was with other people in my family, and they were all major Tulane fans, and it was just like, "Oh, we're a Tulane family. Like, that's how this goes." And little did I know I was in for a life of fucking misery if we were comparing to LSU. But that was that.
All right, so it was 01
01. I thought
at
it was
Zephyr Field.
Yeah, and we sent Skip out on the Greenway. That was the thing. Send Skip out on the Greenway. And that was when I learned my Hullabaloo chant. Like, listen.
You know the Hullabaloo?
I'm not doing it.
Let's do it for the podcast, bro.
What is it? A T, a U, a Hullabaloo, a Hullabaloo.
It's a 1,
a 1, but yeah,
a 2,
start.
a hell of a hullabaloo.
That's right.
A hullabaloo, ray, ray, hullabaloo, ray, ray, hooray, hooray. Bossa, bossa, T-A, T-A, T-A. Bossa, bossa, T-A, Tulane.
There you go. I fucked it up. He knew it. He's better than me. Everybody out there that follows us for Tulane's gonna be like, "You don't even know the chant? Fuck
Hey,
you."
no, but when we go to other like stadiums, they act like we're like speaking in tongues. They're like, "What the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, what are y'all doing?"
Yeah. No, I feel you. Number 2. What is number 2? What was that number 2? What did I say? What is number 2? I don't know where the fuck I'm at.
You were at the Super Regional.
Lost count.
That was number 3.
Number 2 for me, I think, is gonna be. Let's see what I've written down here. I think I'm going Cotton Bowl. That was fun, man. It was a weird night because we ended up at a bar and watched a guy almost die on a football field.
A roller coaster of
But
emotions.
the day at the house, we were having a
Like
great
the
time.
Tulane Cotton Bowl?
Yeah,
So-
after Cotton Bowl.
Let's go.
So that day,
Yeah.
we got to witness Tulane win the Cotton. Sports have not been right since Tulane won the Cotton
They
Bowl.
haven't. It's been weird.
Tulane won the Cotton Bowl. We went to a bar. Zion tore his hamstring or whatever happened. DeMar Hamlin died on the field. All of the same day.
Yeah, it was very weird. But the excitement of Tulane winning the Cotton Bowl, man, the whole time, and I've said this on the pod before, I think, the whole time I was like, I just want to look like we belong. And then as the game goes on, I'm like, yeah, we look like we belong. This is awesome. We're not going to outduel them because we just can't stop them, and it's fine. We look like we belong. That's all I wanted. And then I see the ball go out of bounds at like the 1 yard line, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
What a moment.
Oh, wait a minute. And like from then on, it was a roller coaster. I was like, we got a chance. And man, that was the most exciting. I think I jumped up and down like behind my bar over here. Like,
Yeah, I'm so glad I wasn't
like,
alone to
what?
watch that.
Dude, it was so exciting.
I do wish I had a blast watching it here. I wish I had been with my grandma for that.
Yeah.
Because she's like, she's a diehard Tulane fan. Like that moment, I was like, man, that was the first person I called.
Yeah.
I was like, I wish I had been with her for that moment because it would have been so cool to see.
I tell you what, too, like runner-ups. Not that I'm going that far, but runner-ups, man. Like
We didn't get the number.
or other cool. Well, I'll say this. Like, number one, and I'm not gonna
Like honorable mention?
Yeah, I'll go honorable mention. Number one, not to go too deep, is the Saints winning the Super Bowl. I feel like the Vikings victory is probably better, but like I'm just gonna throw it in there as a thing. But runner-ups, like going to the Tulane games this year, the championship game and the Memphis game, and seeing the stadium full.
Yes.
It was amazing. I've never seen that my whole life, and it was a crazy feeling. It was so much fun. Now Memphis, it sucked because they almost came back and won after we were up like 30, and I was like, "What is happening?"
Well, growing up in the dome, used to be able to like send somebody across the 50-yard line from you and like be like, "Hey, what's up?" and they could hear you.
Yeah.
You could talk to somebody because there was like 300 people in the whole Superdome.
Right.
And we've had those days at Yeoman, right? I used to be a season ticket holder until I joined the military, but I didn't get a chance to go to a game this year. But NOLA Flight, we bought like some tickets to send some of the players and staff to a game, and just to see it on TV and see the stadium actually packed, like that warmed my heart, bro.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's cool to know you probably, at least this year, you're not going back to the way it was, the empty days.
Yeah.
Like it should be packed almost every game this year.
Well, season tickets are doing well. People showing up is a whole different thing. If they start off bad,
Yeah,
it could
that's
change. But I think that they're going to have a lot more support, and I hope that Michael Pratt is phenomenal. He's a great quarterback. The team's going to be better. I think they'll be better this upcoming year than they were last year. Now, will they have more wins? I don't know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think
He-
of my five.
Michael Pratt is a top 10 returning quarterback according to plenty of sources. So think about it. I mean, how many FBS schools are there? 130 plus, right? For him to be a top 10 returning quarterback, like that's got to build a lot of excitement.
I mean, he's phenomenal, man. Like, he has the opportunity, right? Like, it's a long shot, but he has the opportunity if he has a good season to go in the first round. Like, you haven't said that about Tulane in a long time.
Yeah, since like J.P. Lossman,
Yeah.
Right.
Patrick Ramsey,
Yeah.
Sean King.
Yeah. What you got? You got
The
any?
last NFL ready quarterback from Tulane was Ryan Griffin.
And he's been riding the pine.
Right.
I mean, he was a great quarterback for Tulane,
Right.
but they just didn't see a lot of success. Ryan Griffin was a part of a system at Tulane that had no defense. Like, he was putting up 400 yards through the air every game, and just, they were getting blown out. But, Ryan Griffin, he held Tom Brady whenever he was drunk
There you go.
I'm trying to come
on
up
the
with-
parade.
Is that his?
That's his claim to fame.
I'm trying to come up with some different ones because,
Nah, man,
We
whatever's
could have
top
some-
off of you.
But no, so my number 5 is going to be the Thanksgiving game the Saints played against the Cowboys when we came back because I was there.
Yeah.
It was my first road Saints game. It was on Thanksgiving. It was the one where was it Roy Williams was and then Lance I think scores the game-winning touchdown. my cousin, we had been talking to this family in front of us. There was a guy, his wife, and his daughter. We had been talking shit to them, just like playfully the whole game, right? And at the end of the game, when Lance scores that touchdown, my cousin is like beyond drunk. Lion King's their daughter, like grabs their daughter and just like Simba. And me and my uncle looked at each other like, we're gonna have to fight this guy, like, because if the roles reversed, like that's probably not gonna fly, right?
That's my dog.
Right. But the mom was like, no. The dad was like, yeah. So the dad was cool with it. He was also drunk, but. So yeah, that's my number 5, just for the experience, right? Like the game's probably insignificant in the season if I remember. I don't even know. Number 4, you're gonna hit me again. It's gonna be the Rangers making the World Series. Because I love baseball, man. I don't know what to tell you. I fucking love baseball. And my team making the World Series is great. It ended with them being 1 out away, and we fucking lost, but it is what it is. Getting there is cool. Number 3 is, I guess, the Cotton Bowl.
We've talked about it.
Yeah, I'm trying to rank these. Number 2 is going to be the block punt.
That's a good one. I didn't think of
Number
that.
2 is the block punt. That's just like going through Katrina and Chalmette and losing everything. Like the block punt.
Gleason just coming through and wrecking shit.
Yeah, the block punt is number 2.
I mean, there's a whole statue for those that are not aware of New Orleans sports like allure. There's a whole statue in front of the Superdome with Gleason like depicting him blocking that one.
Well, we were talking tailgating before. I told you we have we do the same thing every game. We ride in the back of a truck through the French Quarter, just like honking the horn and shit.
You go give Gleason a high five.
We
on
walk
the statue
on the way up the steps every game. We go touch the statue. And even if I'm if I'm running late because I'm coming from work or something, I'm not with my group. I'll be late to the game because I have to go do it. Like it doesn't. We haven't been with it at home that much, but it's just like
it's tradition.
You have
bro.
to do it.
Yeah.
It's becoming weird. It's only weird.
No, it's definitely becoming weird.
Yeah, it's only weird if you don't win.
Right. And now it's weird because we're not
Oh,
winning.
it's absolutely weird. But I've
Was
done
this-
it. It's almost second nature at this
it's
point.
Trust the process.
Number
bro.
one
Trust
was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
For the way.
Like if he didn't touch it over the past like 17 weeks,
Yeah.
then Derek Carr's going 0-17 this year.
Number 1 is the Super Bowl.
I like that. I never told my favorite tailgating experience.
Well, we only got like
Well,
3
well,
minutes.
Dave,
We're almost at an hour already.
We can cut it out.
Dave's
No, go ahead. Who cares?
Dave's
It goes long.
Dave still got you still got one more.
The Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Okay.
So we can close it out. Oh, you know what? I'll finish it. Brief story. My favorite tailgate experience, because you guys both talked about yours. I was at a Saints game with a couple buddies. We were just walking around, and we stumbled upon some friends that were in a parking lot. And they're like, hey, we got a tailgate party. Come hang out. And we're like, all right, cool. So we go over there. They're like, free drinks, free food. We're like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. We're hanging out. And a bunch of like the super fans walk up. You know, like the boxing guy and like what's the other guy with the Halo guy. Like all these people walk up. And we're like, dude, what's going on? And then people like walk up with cameras and shit. And they're like, oh, we're from England. We're recording like just a quick like segment for the news because you guys are coming to England and you're gonna play. So like if you guys want to be a part of this, like just hop on here and talk to us. We're part of this whole party that apparently you had to pay like $150 to be at, and like just stumbled into it because we knew people and like we're eating jambalaya and like drinking free Abita beer. Shout out Abita. Not for me, but for Devin. Why not? And it was just amazing. Like we ended up knowing like 20 people at this damn party that were running it. It was, it's my life. That's what I do. I also met Joel McHale once, and that thing wasn't tailgate, but I just stumbled at the party. Yeah. Act like you know people and be cool, and it's fun.
When the Super Bowl was here, I don't know if it was the last time. I think it was. You know how they do the, like they set up the fan experience in the shop at the convention center?
I was there.
Over there. So I parked somewhere, and I was walking by myself over there, and like this group of like preppy white people just like mobbed me. And I thought I was about to get jumped by like the most odd group of people I've ever
It's not
seen.
a Main Street Posse.
I thought it was over for me. I really did. And they come up to me and they're like, "Can you sign this paper real quick?" I'm like, "Why? What are we doing?" So they're like, "We just need you to sign because you're about to win something." It's like, okay. So I sign it, and they gave me like a $200 gift card to the fan shop. They were like, "Have a great day," and it just ran away.
Damn, you got hooked up.
Yeah, they gave me. Yeah, I bought a bunch of shit at this thing, but I really thought my life was over. It was really an emotional roller coaster. You don't walk the streets of New Orleans alone like that. Number one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Look, my all-time top tailgating experience. I was at UL Lafayette, circa 2012. Right, I was living out there, and all my roommates they went to UL. They were in the band. I was in music production, and I was a Tulane fan. Tulane was playing UL on their homecoming, right? UL's homecoming. And this was during a bad time in Tulane football, right? We were not good.
So like the last 2 decades.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's easy to be a Tulane fan, because when you lose, it's just another day. When you win, it's a fucking great day. All right? But I show up to this tailgate. And guess what? I'm the only person wearing a Tulane jersey, Tulane shirt. Free beer, free food, and dusted crawfish. All right. So
There
boom,
we go.
boom.
You can't end with that.
No, hey, look, chat.
And that's our podcast.
That's it. That was my best tailgate experience. Was dusted crawfish, free dusted crawfish. UL Lafayette. UL.
Hell yeah. We can end with that. I like that.
I like it.
I like it. We need to end with that anyway. It's been an hour. We need to close this shit out. This has been the most random podcast ever, and I had a blast. Brandon, thank you for coming, man.
I've
And
never
obviously
laughed
hang
that
out.
hard on the pod.
Thank y'all so much for having
Shout
me.
out Free Willy.
Shout out Free Willy.
Homie.
Don't go anywhere. We're gonna. I want to hear more of that song too. We're gonna have a few drinks after, or at least I will. You can find me at the Patty B. You can find Dave
At the Dave Rainey.
Brandon, is there anything you want to shout out before we close out?
Yo, just shout out New Orleans sports in general, Louisiana sports in general. If you want to look us up, I'm the owner of NOLA Flight Esports, New Orleans' premier professional esports organization at NOLA Flight GG. My personal is at NOLA Flight CEO. Appreciate y'all.
I should probably shout out Baseball Pod.
Do that.
Yeah, so yesterday we put out the first episode of The Squeeze. It's our new baseball pod under the No.
It's a strong odd. I'm joking.
I'm so confused.
Howard.
Yeah, so it's under the No network pods that we got going now. Also, we got Off the Dome now too.
A lot of cool stuff going on with the No.
Yeah, so it is at That Baseball Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and YouTube is at The Squeeze Pod. So go over there, check it out. Just gonna be a bunch of baseball fans every week chatting baseball. Sometimes it'll just be who's your favorite 2000s baseball player, and every now and then it might get a little bit more deep into the season, right?
Alfonso Soriano.
Ken Griffey.
Does he count for 2000? I guess he does. Yeah, but it's definitely King Griffin. Until next time.
Oh, follow
we
me
got.
in the know.
Oh yeah, actually follow B in the No for sure. But no, until next time, guys. Take care of yourselves. Peace.